Hey, what's up, happy people? I'm Robert Arrington from Deer Meat for Dinner on YouTube. We're out here in Mississippi hanging out with my buddies from Mossy, and we're talking archery. Well, guess what? I get so many questions about how do you sight in your bow? Well, this is my bow. It's got a 5-pin sight on it, and if I'm gonna sight it in, first thing I do, I go to 10 yards and I shoot. If the arrow is high, you follow the arrow. You're just gonna take an Allen key, raise your sight high. So if your shot is high, you raise your sight. Shoot it again. You wanna get that arrow perfectly sighted in at 10 yards, then back up to 20 yards. You're gonna sight it in the same way. If you're shooting high or low, if you're shooting high, move your sight higher. If you're shooting low, move your sight a little bit lower. Get that thing dialed in perfectly at 20 yards. Then, if you're shooting left or right, same thing. Let's say you're shooting to the right. Move your sight to the right. And don't move it in huge adjustments, just move it a little at a time. Take your time and shoot. Well, once that happens, then go back to 10 yards. So whenever I shoot at 20 and it's dead on, then I go to 10 yards, and I wanna make sure that it's good there. Younger people typically are shooting lighter poundage, and their first pin may need to be at 10 yards and their second pin at 20. But for me, my first pin is at 20 yards, and then I try to go every 10 yards, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now, this is pre-adjusted. So I set my first pin at 20 yards. Then there's little Allen keys, little baby ones over here on the side, and I will adjust each one of these individually so that these pins represent dead on at 20, 30, 40, 50. Hey, that's one of the simplest things I can explain to you, but it's one of the most important. Follow the arrow. If you're shooting high, move your sight high. If you're shooting to the right, move your sight to the right. Take your time, have a good time, enjoy it, and we will see you next time. For this tip and other tips like it, go to Mossy Oak University.